Ooh, and let's see. Wave of frost passes over us. Ice caves are generally scary, highly likely to contain things that are not affected by our poison. We do just have the one pip, hey? We could start changing out some equipment here. Like we do have this scale mail of cold resistance. We think we can still cast most of our things while having this around. That could be a nice one for sure. Hey, how's the stream coming along tonight? Hope you're keeping safe. Yeah, definitely been fantastic. No Gnoll deaths tonight, so that's good so far. Definitely a much better track record than the other day. And also, thank you so much, Player React, for the Prime subscription. I appreciate it a whole lot. Thanks for sending that my way. But yes, no, it's going quite fantastically so far. No real complaints, so to speak. I guess I am kind of forgetting to deal with the question of this ice caverns, which I do not feel very safe about entering. We were just going on about how well we're doing and how we haven't thrown away any gnolls in horribly stupid ways so far, and that can always change. Yeah, man, my content's nice to relax too. Well deserved, keep it up. Thank you so much. No, I also actually went over and I checked out a little bit of your stream as well, Player React, and I enjoyed watching along with some of your Yakuza gameplay. So thanks for coming out in general, giving me something fun to watch as well. Perfect. And we did end up running into the ice caves here, so we do have yet another chance to make the hard call whether we wish to explore this slightly more dangerous timed portal. Yes, we don't have any resistance potions. This could be where we break a ring, break the chains, and release one of our hands to freedom. And that way, we could use the protection from Cold Ring to potentially make our way through this and pick up some good loots. And afterwards, switch over to the willpower, or keep it open maybe to switch back and forth between the two. Since now with all of our slots filled, I don't believe we lose too much besides the bonus itself, which is Self and Beguiling. Oh, so I don't mind losing those too much. Self is too bad. It's always nice having more health and magic points, but hey, at the end of the day, if we're switching into something that keeps us alive and allows us to potentially get more treasures. I also should be reading off the names of some of my equipment, I just realized, because like our mace, Ashen'Zari's Vision, they'll get renamed when we curse them, which is awesome. We have the Kite Shield of the Restrained Sage. Nice, nice. A Gnostic Burden. Tethered Together, I really like. Tethered Together is up there with, I saw Ashen'Zari's Adversity when I was mousing over stuff, so those are all fun. Supernal Wisdom Cloak. Oh wow, that's impressive. And Sybil of Ashen'Zari, of course, as well. Yeah, let's really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, it means a lot. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. Appreciate you coming out this way, and thanks again for the Prime too. I mean, I need cold resist, yeah. Break those chains. Breaking the chains, indeed. No, I do think that that's going to be it. Unfortunately, it does mean we get rid of... Oh, actually, Shattered With Me is the one that I was thinking of, because we didn't look at our jewelry, of course. We have Pagnostic Negligence. Poetic, I like it. Shattered With Me, I actually did really like. So unfortunately, we're going to be shattering this. I mean, maybe not so unfortunately. It seems fitting in a sense, right? And Cryptic Augurer as our necklace. So I'm happy we're keeping our necklace around for a while. That's a fun one. But okay, enough of that needless hesitation. Let us just go through with the plan here. We will shatter. Shattered with me. Stay with me now. Perfect. With that gone, we'll switch over to the cold resistance. I'm gonna heal up a little bit more before heading down. Perfect. And this is why we definitely need to do that. I was still crossing my fingers and hoping, you know, maybe it's going to be filled with black bears and polar bears, you know, people that we can poison. But no, it looks like we're getting a bunch of simulacra instead here. Lindworm, 2 acid dragons, so they at least will be taken out fairly quickly. Let's back up though, and yeah, we'll bring in a friend here. In fact, that's going surprisingly well. Holy. And I'm just sitting here waiting, doing nothing with my turns when I should be using these boomerangs that I have quivered in my offhand here and actually contributing to the fight instead of just cheering my doggo on. But that's all fine in the end, I guess. Now we can smite target the one buddy. It's a bit of a pain in the butt here. And the rest of you, Lindworm, ooh, Komodo Dragon is a little bit scarier. Okay. It'd be so easy to not pay attention to what simulacra these actually are here and start getting hit by something ridiculous. What did I feed that dog? Nothing but the highest protein meals or something, because they definitely were absolute tank. Or were an absolute tank, I should say. But there we go, able to just retreat into our corner. Nothing too sketchy comes out of that. It's ready for things to go a whole lot worse than they did, to say the least. Oh, I also maybe do want to head back here. And I'm going to pick up these gloves, because even if we don't end up using them, the fact that they are another option if we ever want to... Well, I guess I was going to say get another curse, but when you break the chains, you lose your option. So really, don't need to hold you along unless I would want to get rid of Fortification and Evo, but probably not. Those are both nice categories. I'm going back and forth, just waffling around here, but there we go. I think I've decided that we are in fact going to take it. And then let us start blasting. Not great. Might actually instead blast the simulacra here and let it come up to us. Perfect. I don't want to have to deal with multiple targets in the same fight. Instead, if we can just break it up like this, it's much more efficient to our continued survival, which is the whole name of the game. And blast him. Oh, wow. Okay, that was effective. And there we go. Now we can start using our throwing weapons, and we should be able to take this buddy out in relatively short order. I wish I had something piercing so you'd get through the ice beast. Turns out, it doesn't even matter. Instead, just get lucky and kill in that final blow there. Love to see it. The steam dragons really not causing too much of a problem for us, which I'm definitely happy with. Let's just take on the ice beast and then actually come in sight for a little bit just to get closer here. And this is much better if we can actually just use our mace and hammer away here, take a few turns. Perfect. So far, not too scary of an ice cave. I've definitely seen worse. Ready for all of that to come to a screeching stop here as something truly scary comes around the next corner, but not yet. Oh, sorry, game. No, I do not want to walk in the steaming cloud? Is that what it says? No, it just says that cloud of freezing vapor. I think I was reading Steam Dragon and seeing freezing. Just got me all out of whack. There we go. Again, waiting for what's behind the final turn here. And there it is. An ice dragon. So definitely a bit scary, to say the least. Susceptible to fire, but unfortunately resistant to poison, which is kind of what I was hinging everything on here. But have a decent number of evocable charges. I guess, what's your AC is relatively low for something like Tin of Tremor Stones. Should still do a bit of a number at least. let's do a tour of where we'd like this fight to take place. Unfortunately, none of these hallways at the start are true one-wides, but this one is. Hard to retreat from if the fight with the dragon goes poorly. But it's not, right? We're just going to defeat it easily, without a care in the world. Well, I'm going to start by just waking everything up, as well as getting some initial poison placed on some of these frozen buddies. Because I did forget that they're going to slow us in our ability to walk, but fortunately not enough to be an appreciable distance by the time we get to our defense area, except nobody's following us apparently. Hello, new friends? No, nobody wants to hang out? Okay, I'll come to you again. I'm very desperate for friends, so I'll just keep coming back. Okay, come on, dragon. You gotta be following us now, right? No? As I see it just wandering back and forth, sir? Please? Like I said, I want friends, but only in situations that are suitable for me. Well, I guess we still have plenty of blinking if things go truly horrible. Right, friend? Very resistant to cold. I was debating ice blasting, because ice blast at least ignores a certain amount of cold resistance relative to other cold-based things. But I guess not quite good enough here. So let's take these buddies on a bit of a journey. Huh. This corner does something weird with their AI where I think that they maybe can like sense me through the wall while being unable to see me. It's interesting. But that does allow us to take out the simulacrum in a slightly more controlled circumstance, and now I'm ready to face a dragon. Maybe. Oh gosh. We're not in a great place for scrolls of blinking, so if things start to go truly horrendously here, we do want to retreat a bit before then. I should also check what kind of polymorphs we could get out of this. A glowing orange brain would be good. Anything else would be bad. Fire dragon, absolutely horrible. Spark wasp, oh dear god, we're dead. So, I think we will just continue this fight. And also, I've been forgetting about statue form. That's probably a solid idea to pop on here. Then we're able to bypass some poison resistance with our fancy mace. And there we go, much better. I'll even pick up the Ice Dragon scales for now, even though not super likely to be using that in the future. And oh my gosh, we get a fancy shield here. So it does look like we'll be breaking some more chains right away. The poison resistance ring is interesting. As long as I'm able to statue form, I don't really need it. I guess there's probably trash I'm carrying around, right? Let's open drop menu here and make some choices. We're no longer using stones as a throwing weapon. They can go. Poison darts we probably no longer need as a throwing weapon either, so we'll nix those without too much difficulty. And there we go. I knew we had some trash like this robe lying around. So that we can get rid of. Staff of Fire, probably get rid of too. We're likely to be binding our weapon fairly regularly. Well, I guess that might be enough, because I kind of want this poison resistance ring for our future, just in case things change in some drastic way. Cold resistance ring, I guess we don't need most of these. Having only one free hand does simplify things. Maybe I'll take the Ring of Slaying outside, just in case. Something fun to do. Oh, Ring of Fire. Right, we have one more slot, so I may as well grab something. Another AC ring? Probably not. Maybe it is just the cold resistance ring that I'm very unlikely to use. Guess the last thing being, yeah, no, we did not drop anything that I don't mind losing, and perfect. Got through the ice caves, and actually much more cleanly than I originally suspected. I was awaiting some horrendous troubles there. We are put into a slightly interesting situation moving forward here, because we're just about through with the initial kind of sub-clear of lair, by which I just mean the clear down to level 5 here, and not quite going into the final section of the area yet. And that means we'll have to start thinking about which of the sub-branches we want to do. And at this point, not loving either of them. I wish I could just OTR my way to victory, but it was not meant to be, I guess. Going into my auto pickup here, just to make sure we don't have to get worried about each and every stone pile we come across. Turn that off for now. And perfect. Let's poison this Komodo dragon. I'd also prefer these to be one-on-one fights before things go truly horrendous. Not too bad. Kind of playing with fire here by fighting and not just immediately running away the second I saw the basilisk showing up. Could have been turned to stone very early on in that fight, and that would have made it a very different encounter overall, but never was going to happen. And of course we knew that, and we were playing very, very strategically, very, very intelligently. Never made a dumb mistake in my life, right? And here we go. We've now reached the point that I was just hypothesizing about, and so we must make a decision. Snake and swamp, hey? Still says it's a choice between swamp and shoals, but I'm pretty sure with what we were seeing there, that's going to be a swamp entrance. Unless the swamp monsters have somehow overrun just the entrance to shoals, then that is going to be the case. So, probably down to snake. Interesting part about snake is that we can get poison resistance from statue form, but unfortunately statue form takes away one of the few advantages that we have in that branch, which is the fact that we're faster than the snake buddies, or I guess more specifically than the naga, because the snakes are faster than us normally, but the naga usually we can just run away from. With statue form, that is no longer the case. I also almost completely forgot that we have Orc to explore still, so let's start off there, because Orc is another place where we can take full advantage of our poison skills, which is awesome. Okie dokie. Another Hydra pal here, 6-headed one that we left behind on a previous jaunt through the area. Nice, not too bad. We'll just take out that buddy. And wow, yeah, thank you so much, Gondikoff, for the Prime subscription as well. I appreciate that a bunch on top of that too. My brain just didn't want to say as well for a second time, and instead I just came up with a bunch of phrases that don't even make sense. Not a great solution, but money out of Bezos' pocket into yours. Thanks for the streams and YouTube videos. Perfect. Love the framing of that too. But yeah, no problem whatsoever, and thank you so much for the generosity and for all the advice that you've been given throughout the stream today and chatting along. Always appreciate that as well, if not more so than any other contribution. Not to diminish the other contribution, of course, or to uplift that one. Language is such a funny thing like that. But here we go. This is going to be a nice little reprieve from some of the issues that we faced in the previous section here, as we just start poisoning everyone as they walk towards us. I'm not even in statue form, which I probably should be, if just so that we can take a few more hits before needing to retreat. And absolutely satisfying. Not too bad. Ooh, tabbing a little too fast there, because of course I had to be proven wrong with an N showing up. Oh, fun. This is something that we normally come across in depths. Because 40 damage, so 80 plus 2 dire flails. Dire flails definitely hit like a truck. So that is looking like a minimum of like just over 100 damage potential. Not great, to say the least. We also are almost out of magic points here, which is too bad. What's the situation looking like up here? Not a grand area in terms of retreat options, but we're at least not surrounded at all. So even if the end's next to us and we have to run away, of course it would be. Oh, and of course that we're on the wrong side of it too. Well, we're gonna take some risky steps here. No good how scary that is. And no me oh my. This is another chance of should I polymorph you? 59% chance to affect Swamp Dragon or Great Orb of Eyes, both preferable. A Bunyip? Slightly less so. Because unfortunately the Bunyip has the speed advantage, so as we're running away, they'll be continually landing hits on us, which is slightly scarier for sure. Could reach into our pocket for some of the resources that we've been saving up for just such an occasion. We only have one summoning scroll, but that would definitely do the trick. Oh, a bunch of yawns coming on today. So yeah, summoning scroll to just get a bunch of help picking him out. Even though on D10, the summons are always graded based on or created based on the area that you're in. So it'd be a lot of weak summons, unfortunately. Right? Maybe not quite enough to keep our friend busy. So instead, dang it, they random energy towards us. Wait, and again? Oh no, we're statue form. Oh, I'm an idiot. Right. That's how that works. Well, I can definitely use summoning to gain small gaps. Haste pod and OTR. Yeah, right, because the other thing that I guess I meant to tack on to the summoning scroll talk was our entire inventory of potions here. The only unfortunate thing is I'd kind of forgotten just how slowed we were by statue form. So I'm fully in the mindset of survival here. It might be worth it to blink out of this for now. Because yeah, from a distance, using our poison and some form of speeding up or slowing down our enemy definitely does absolute wonders for us. Because even just a combination of summoning hounds and using our poisonous vapors will do the trick for the most part. You know what? We do have a decent number of blink scrolls. So I think I am happy enough. Oh, that's just because I can see through the walls that I can see there. Right. Okay, one more turn. We can do it. Perfect. And now we're going to use the blink scroll. Dang it. I was hoping to be out of sight of the buddy here, but we're definitely getting caught out. And before I waste too many more resources, it might be time to, yeah, just use that haste instead. And that will at least even us out in speed, and ideally we'll still be slightly faster. I'm not totally sure how the timing works out there. Let's find out. Okay, we're even speed now with haste. Scary stuff. We can go up or down any stairway. Oh, and we're at a weird half energy pace. I don't like it when we see gaps created then closed, because I'm always worried that they're going to random energy the other way and get a free hit in, which would be the end of days here. But maybe, just maybe, we can maintain this gap, because even just retreating from this fight for now and coming back was something that interested me. Even though now the game has me thinking, I'm still hasted. For how long? Because we could just try and employ some haste poison techniques here. Oh, which way are you going, sir? I had to wait out a turn there because I wasn't actually feeling too safe about Buddy not cutting us off. I've definitely been burned by that before, where I make some silly mistakes in pathing. Okay, let's... Oh, we lost them. Okay, so maybe we'll use this as an opportunity to heal and re-engage anyway, because our haste did run out, unfortunately. But... Right. Auto Explore doesn't work. I don't know why expect it to. This is probably the Hydra we fought. No, right, because this one had 7 heads. We haven't fought one of those. Well, let's go for it, shall we? Okay, the wolf needs to be somewhere where they don't get taken out earlier, or before the Hydra tries to attack me, I should say. Be more explicit. There we go, not too bad. And now, instead of using the arrow keys, I am going to use the click move because it saves me from myself. So often, I will accidentally run myself into trouble without really noticing what's around me. But this way, I will get auto-halted the moment something scurry is around. Because where the heck did you go, my Eden friend? Out into the wide world, maybe? The wide hallways of... Ah, yes, there you are. Can use our special sight to kind of dance around, because I do want to engage at max range. And let's do this. Keep distracting with hounds here. Keep laying on that poison as much as we possibly can. There we go. This is definitely a winning strategy. Perfect. And with that, we should be able to, head right back to our orc stairs. I think that was the scariest thing that we had to deal with, and the rest of these buddies aren't too bad. So, statue form. And let's finish this party, shall we? Perfect. So yeah, definitely a bit of a shocking enemy to find in Orc 1 of all places. But as long as we can make do with the tools at our disposal, besides maybe, not even maybe, but definitely burning a few more consumables than I otherwise might have liked, we're able to get out in one piece. But here we go. Spellbook Shop. This is where things get interesting. So BVC, or Borgneur's Vile Clutch, can be a pretty solid skill, especially for locking down some of those higher evasion targets. But we're looking Ignite Poison. Yeah, exactly, Gondaka. Not wrong. So air, not going to have it, but I still am going to check it out. Armaments, not going to have it, I don't think, but does have some interesting choices. Stone arrow is a pretty solid get. Kind of element agnostic way of dealing with enemies. Lahudib's Crystal Spear is incredible, but it's not very likely we'll be able to cast a level 8 spell anytime soon, if at all by the end of the run, depending on how our skilling goes, of course. And I guess Ashen Zari bonuses do kind of alter that mind state, or mindset rather, because with those we should be at over and potentially nearing like the 20 point on both of the skills that make up Lahudib's schooling. Interesting. So that one is definitely getting a highlight, but let's keep it going. Beasts I didn't think would be right, but still worth checking. Book of Blasting is actually another one that I'm going to mark as a potential buy in the future. Dreams, Stone, not likely. Ooh, Bolt of Magma is something I was thinking about a moment ago. I don't know if it's worth it to buy that expensive book just for that one spell, but it is a pretty incredible one. Same with Irradiate is another solid option for taking out some of the tankier enemies that we run across in the game. And that one's slightly more efficient. I don't know if I'll end up using Dragon Form, so it doesn't really matter that we learn that spell as well. But okay, I guess that's that. With maybe Book of Stone being marked as a potential buy in our future. No Ignite Poison. Ah, sigh, gasp. Egad. But not the end of the world. Ooh, interesting. We have an Interdimensional Caravan. That's probably worth visiting, or actually almost definitely worth visiting, but more to the point, I think we might have enough money with 700 and some change to potentially buy something nice from there. So I will magic map this place and see where it lies. Unfortunately, it may be in a horribly spaced place. Yeah, just the furthest potential spot on the entire map. And we're going to be fighting the whole time. Getting there, most likely, at least. Let's see. Melee combat and cunning from Ashen Zari, I think we're good without. We'll pick up some coins on the way to our bazaar, and hopefully, if we don't run into too many monsters, we actually should be okay. I took a very wide southern berth of the end chamber, which is this entire section up here, if I had to guess. Fairly safe guess, just based on the 4 shops at the end and whatnot, general makeup, but... Oh hey, we were just talking about these specific stores on Wednesday. They're somebody's favorite theme store. So a very specific store set to Potion of Might. Also, Gondikov mentioned IMB is decent with OTR. That's very true. Just able to keep that distance and keep applying poison as you kind of keep them in that perpetual state of trying to approach you. Definitely something to keep in mind, though still kind of expensive. Let's see, File Floods gets on my list. Otherwise, that all looks just fine. I should have probably just tried to sneak past these buddies. We're wasting a couple of turns just to finish this fight, but all in the name of science. And okay, let's do this. I'll go back to click moving again so that I can move a mixture of quickly and without having to worry about accidentally stepping my way into a horrifying situation. No, it looks like we might be able to make it. I'm going to keep throwing the qualifiers in there because I do not want to completely jinx myself here. But we can definitely OTR and then just start walking towards the location of relevance here. Could have completely backfired into our face, don't get me wrong, as we get surrounded by horrifying monstrosities, but we did make it. Question is, do I fight? I would just be begging for the game to close the portal on my face, right? I don't think I've seen any of the low time messages left. We should be fine regardless coming out of here, so let's not risk it. Potentially making myself immediately upset with my own choices in life. And instead, let's head in here, take a peek ourselves. Scroll of Blinking, definitely up there. Scroll of Fear is actually way up there. I can't believe we haven't found any of those yet. That's another fun escape option, or usually not so fun, but more so just effective. What else? Distressingly Furry Troll Leather Armor. Artifact Troll Leather is very interesting to me. Same with some magical cloaks. Oh gosh, game. So this one is melee combat and companions. We can definitely afford to break our cloak. We're still under budget, even buying all of those things, but let's see what else the game has in store for us. The Robe of the Fiend. This is inspired Magi? Huh. Arch-Magi, right? It's weird. In this word, I want to say it Maggie, but when I'm referring to like the plural of magus or magus, oh my gosh, I've never said that word out loud. I've only read it in books. People are usually people are talking about the plural, so they just say Magi. But regardless, completely throwing myself for a loop, which is oftentimes the case with language and whatnot. Don't get me wrong. But I think I will buy a Distressingly Furry Troll Leather Armor and definitely one of the cloaks. I wish that the pictures here would determine what the cloak looks like on our character themselves, because as a Gnoll model, it's important to look good. Yeah, Magi is correct, right? But for whatever reason, just nothing in my brain was saying that when looking at adding the prefix of arch to it. Just completely broke my brain. But +2 cloak, okay. And then, troll leather armor of cold resistance. Interesting. So increase our AC just a little bit. Gives us regen and cold resistance. And what is on this? Self and evocations is our curse upgrade on our Steam Dragon scales. Plus slightly higher encumbrance as well, with encumbrance rating of 4 versus the 0. Definitely might be relevant in some degree, or to some degree. I do have too much crap. I should have spent a turn after clearing the initial area just dropping stuff that I don't plan on ever using. I guess Ice Dragon Scales could probably go without. We've found a decent number of random sources of cold resistance, nothing of fire resistance, so it's looking fairly unlikely that we'll do that. Also, now that I've said that out loud, I feel like I really should have taken the Ring of Fire that we ran across in the frozen caverns. I'm just stupid. Whoops. But that's fine. All things considered here. Should be okay. And what else to keep in mind here? Blinking Scroll, I guess, was pretty much a no-brainer get. And in fact, similar logic for the Fear Scroll. No, it does take up an inventory space, and that would bring us down to 355. So what can I afford with 355? Jeweled Chainmail if we want to check out heavier armor. Not likely though. The other cloak might be something to identify at the very least. Ooh, just not enough money for the Robe of the Fiend. The Robe of the Arch Magi. Slowly but surely, I'm going to train my brain to say that word correctly. It's tempting for a source of RF, but at the end of the day, it gets melded into our body, so we lose that when we statue form. So maybe not so much. Maybe by endgame here, we'll want a heavier suit of armor that we can have on inherently without having to worry about that. Of course, always planning the future for when we're going to be facing off against Orbs of Fire at some stage of the game. Zot is, in general, what you're preparing for on your entire way down. But okie dokie, let us just buy this other cloak, see if it's something better. Ooh, and it is willpower, which is exactly what we need. So thank you, game. Hand that our way, and now we have far too many things to break the chains on. I guess it doesn't even matter what our current curse is, because we lose it as an option here. And let's think about this for a second. Maybe use this as an excuse to take a sip of my drink, since it's just been sitting there getting warm this whole time. But we just think about what we might want to replace first here. So, companion and melee, fortitude and evocation. So I'm thinking at first blush here, companions and melee I'm okay with getting rid of. I think all of our melee skills are far and above the requirement for our current weapon here. It's 14 if I had to guess. It is indeed 14. And so, cloak is probably an easy one to drop off on, and getting some willpower is something we're severely lacking at the moment. Shield I wanted to wait, but armor was also a little bit tempting to switch off, I guess. Wait, so let's sum this up. We got my shield, my armor, my cloak. And that's it right now. Okay, just those three. Wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing anything that would be for the betterment here. But as much as I like this kind of all-white look we have going with the armor and cloak specifically, just matching up nicely, and the white is nice because white or black will kind of match with any other color scheme that we come across. The white and red looks all right. But all good things must come to an end. And so it's time to shatter the chains once more. And let's get rid of the Cloak of Supernal Wisdom, which hopefully doesn't become an ironic thing here as we accidentally immediately lose all our wisdom and find ourselves dying in a horrendous way. But oh, would you look at that switch from the white cloak to the gray cloak? Not too bad. Matches even more so. Like a pose Gnoll model. Exactly. As we've very much covered many times in the past, the only thing that truly matters in the game is that you look good by the time you're exiting the dungeon orb in hand. Let's not mince words here. Having become the strongest spellcaster or warrior that this world has ever seen comes second, for sure. And perfect. I think I'm happy with this. I guess the one thing we could do is find... There are a couple different ways to do this. I think one is that you can look up like gold and it will show all the things in store. I think there is a better one that is actually more so related to the way that things are coded in the game itself, but this definitely is a functional solution at the very least. And let's take one final peek through our options here, shall we? Probably don't need more Scrolls of Amnesia, you know, I thought about it for a second. Scroll of Fog. We have 6. They're pretty cheap. I guess, why wouldn't I, right? But otherwise, not a lot. Protection from fire, I don't think I can afford. How much money did I have left? Yeah, 205. Unfortunately, spent just over the amount where we could still afford a ring of resistance to fire. Because of course, breaking the chains and mixing up our cloak option here did open up an inventory space, which is definitely a bit of the plus side here. It's also tempting to shatter a couple chains at once, hey? I guess we lose more bonuses. It's just tempting in the sense that... I was going to say it doesn't get rid of our choice of curse in the future, but ideally it won't, because we'll just curse something, have no choice, then break chains. Yeah, I'm a fool. So, okie dokie. Instead, and I should have been in statue form before popping down the stairs, but let's just head down, shall we? Can just immediately supercharge the poison on the stronger buddy and tab our way through the rest of the fight. At some point, we are going to be wanting to switch out our weapon as well. All wild stuff here. Before we leave this area for good, could we finish exploring these outreach corners of the world? Perfect. We'll even go up these stairs now, I think, so that we don't have to bother doing so in the future, traveling all this way through Orc 2. And not too bad. Being careful not to tap my tab too fast, because the end got way closer than I otherwise might have liked due to that exact phenomena. Could not pick up dispersal darts. I think we will leave those on the floor for now. And alrighty, not too much to explore there. I think what I will do is drop a quick exclusion here. That will prevent us from going up towards that final vault area, and instead finish off the rest of this level first, shall we? Hello, friends. Goodbye, friends. Sorry to see you go. Perfect. And let's do this one more time. Nice little small section here that, as long as nothing too scary has poison resistance, should be all good. Hey, Railbird, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day and had a few great days since I last saw you around here. Nice to see you again. And perfect. I mean, probably still good to face the music here, hey? Always scares me a little bit. You never know what you're gonna find in the final sections of some of these floors. But with OTR at our side, I do believe. Oh, that's a lot of Orc Priests. Very thankful that we have a nice source of AoE here, otherwise we'd just be taking constant smite damage throughout the entirety of the fight. Instead, we only have to do so for the first couple turns. It's also going to be nice for taking out the High Priest, even though slightly less effective just in regards to if the High Priest brings out some demon friends, they're most likely not going to be quite as affected. Do I cross the distance? I think I do. Bit closer of a fight than I otherwise might have liked here, but we'll make sure we radiate toxicity to take out all the stragglers coming in. And perfect. It's funny, I'm so used to using statue form on Che followers, because the last couple Che followers I've run that kind of build. And because of that, I've kind of forgotten that the stone form is the thing that gives me slowed movement, not just being a Che worshipper. Also, definitely should have just used my vapors instead of toxic radiance there against single target, but live and let learn. Just splatted another Unifire Elementus after living one, so the streak has ended. Sad to hear it. Any splat is a sad splat for sure. But hey, at least you got a win as well. That's always solid. In any world here. I guess, ooh, crap, right. We don't have the greatest willpower here. That's important. We could change that with one ring switch, and in fact, we definitely should. We don't have much resistance, or nothing to resist cold from anywho. So perfect, and now, without statue form, we are down some defenses, but it does mean that we can more effectively just continue to lay on the poison as we retreat. And again, instead of using OTR, we should just use Vapors on a single target, but all is well.